Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tirra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and y'all know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. How y'all doing? It is the full moon in Aries. How is it going for you all? Turn it up. All praises. Happy full moon, goddess. Happy full moon to the G-Hive. Thank you all for a wonderful full moon circle last night. I really enjoyed it. I've been listening to it today, and I'm going to continue to listen to it. Makes me happy that I do that because I need to hear some of the stuff I shared and get on it. In the like whatever Aries is about, I've been on the move today. Okay, Aries is about action, baby. All right. So yeah, I've been taking quite a bit of action. Started off with a little bit of an emotional day, just a release. It's okay, Aries is like where we can get a breakthrough. So how is it going for you? How has this full moon been for you? Definitely one that could be bringing your stuff up. Chiron is right there. Could be bringing up something with relationships, right? I went through the houses last night in that full moon circle. So you can watch it and see what I said about it. I'm gonna not go back through what I talked about that full moon last night. What I want to do in this video is I want to go over the weekly astrology, and there was one person who requested a reading and I didn't do that last night. So I'm going to look at her chart today and I'm going to use it as a way to show you what is possible with astrology. And she's going to get a reading by me doing that. And yes, this is being recorded unlisted, and then I'm going to make it public. But as you can see, when I first came on, there is a retreat to reset at the Scorpio new moon eclipse. So I hope that you all will join me at this retreat. It is all for you to reset your energy. One thing that I am noticing with the ladies who have been coming to the retreat, and I don't know if they're making this connection, but for me, it's a connection. That when the women join me in the retreat, they are able to do the work and then make some maybe shifts in their mindset or get clarity on how to move forward. And then things begin to unfold, like new jobs, moving, navigating relationship challenges, which those are heightened at this time. So it's an opportunity for you to just bring yourself into, you could kind of consider it to be like a womb. Bring yourself back into the womb, get loved on, get nurtured, get some clarity. And the more you reset your energy, then it's easier for you to manifest what you want. And life feels doable, right? So I consider this to be a self-care circle. So come make this a part of your monthly self-care. Join me, goddesses. This retreat is so important because it's an eclipse. So this eclipse is about radical change and transformation. And I think it's preparing us for what is to come next year. So right now, while the getting is good, going ahead and take advantage of doing this work by choice instead of being kind of like your back is pushed up against the wall. And it's like you have no choice but to change. Let's do it easy, okay? Do y'all like my little lady? I love her so much. I changed her color from the Libra full moon. So yeah. And then also everyone gets a mini goddess toolkit which has like a hypnosis track, meditation, mindfulness. I'm definitely going to put something in a subliminal in with this one. And it's all about keeping our systems like calm so that we can like have that resilience to navigate the change and transformation that this eclipse is bringing, this first eclipse is bringing. So yeah, I would love to have you there. And then of course, the dynamic of the circle with all of us being there together is like connecting us to that ancient times and getting us out of this me centered, I just got to do it all on my own type of like, this is how we've been programmed to know it's great to be in a circle and be supported and held, or to go and support my sisters who are there, just like we always do, right? Um, any questions, let me know. And you do have an opportunity to buy two more spots. And when you buy this one, and you'll save $30 on buying two more additional spots when you sign up for this one. The early bird rate is still available, 10 spots, $44. So this week, I would love to have you. I would love to have you. Okay, so this week, we're starting our week off with a bang. We're starting our week off with this full moon in Aries. So I'm not going over the astrology of Aries, but this is something I want to read to you. And I want you to consider it as you take it into these next 2 weeks, because this moon will last for 2 weeks. Okay, so the quote is, to be a warrior is to learn to be genuine in every moment of your life. I love that quote. Chogyam Trungpa is the person who says that. And to be genuine and authentic, we need to feel safe to speak what is at our core, the soul essence that embodies all that we value and all that we desire in this world. The soul essence that embodies all that we value and desire to be in this world. It requires us to be brave and harness the courage to speak our truth to our family, our friends, to the world, but most importantly, to ourselves. It requires us to practice doing so from the heart. And this is something that I've been working on, um, that I'm about to read. That the something is really, hold on one second. I'm burning incense. This thing is lightening up this, and it's coming smoky, and I feel confident that it's going to set off my alarm. Okay, sorry about that. But I was like, something doesn't smell right. And I'm looking at all my other candles. Did you light a candle? Come on now, it's Aries now. We got to have this fire. But yeah, I was like, something is not right with that incense. Pardon me. Okay, but yeah, I've been working on this, this energy of the warrior. She is the balance of the masculine and the feminine. She holds boundaries that allow her to take a stand for who she is and what she values, that allow her to be both courageous and vulnerable. Very important. And she does this without feeling unsafe or at risk, like she has to go to war to be seen and heard. Boundaries that allow her to choose whether she says yes or no and attract towards her that which is aligned with her. And I love this. She is sovereign in her power, a feminine power that shows up as a fierce protection of life, love, earth, body, and soul. This is something that you can ponder with this full moon in Aries, as we, work with our inner warrioress, if we want to call it that. Our inner warrioress is brave, she is resilient, she is fierce. She takes a stand for what she believes in. She takes a stand for what she values. She takes a stand for herself. Okay. Um, and so we want to look at, how do we access the warrioress within? And you want to think about, what qualities does she hold? How does she show up in your life? And are you allowing your inner warrioress to have a voice? So here's a quote by Kate Joyner. It says, "A feminine warrior is so because she's learned to integrate her vulnerability as the source of her power." I'm going to say that again. A feminine warrior is so because she's learned to integrate her vulnerability as the source of her power. She doesn't neglect her feminine nature in order to be strong. Her feminine nature is what makes her strong. I'm going to say that again. Her feminine nature is what makes her strong. Her service is in bringing the truth of her feminine soul to this world. I'm going to say that again. Her service is bringing the truth of her feminine soul to this world. Okay. She's a lover of life, a protector, and she carves new roads with her sword of truth. So during this full moon in Aries, it's time to harness your inner warrioress. Okay. So I've given you some things to think about. Just FYI, this is um, to a certain degree the kind of work. Well, not to a certain degree. This is the kind of work that we ponder, because there's more we can do, but I'm just going to leave that with you. But this is the kind of work we do in the circles. So I would love it if you come in so that we can help you, get that connection going where your inner warrior is really showing up for you in a way that is helping you to move in the direction of where you want your life to be. Okay. So I would love, because everybody will be watching this in the replay, what stood out in that for you? What stood out in that for you? I love the piece about um, she's learned to integrate her vulnerability as the source of her power. That is very hard for a lot of people. Okay. That's what stood out for me. Okay. So that's what I'll give you for the full moon in Aries. You can watch the live stream for anything else. Now, I had told y'all that part of what makes this moon a little bit tricky is the planet that rules this moon, which is Mars. It's been having a little bit of some troubles. So right here we have Mars squared Neptune, and essentially that could bring a lot of the emotion. That is one of the things I said this full moon. It could be very emotional. It could be very creative. Um, it could be a time of in a way like fierce rest or fierce compassion. And fierce compassion is like, I'm going to take care of my boundaries. That's what fierce compassion is. Um, but it's also like this energy where things could be cloudy. You could feel like somebody's trying to get over on you, something like that. It could just feel like a day where it's like, no, I want to go to the beach. I need to rest. But it definitely is this energy of sort of like shenanigans happening. Okay. It could be a lot of creativity, but it might come from, you know, something that maybe doesn't feel totally good. So that's what I'll give for that. Mercury goes back into Libra on Monday, which, it's already been there in Libra. We're still going through the Mercury, what is it called? Not storm, shadow period. We're in the second shadow period. So we're wrapping up Mercury retrograde. Now, y'all know I always tell y'all, we consume all this stuff, but are we doing anything with it? It's like you hear it, you leave it right here, but you need to put all of the astrology here in your body. You need to take action with it, right? So you want to be like wrapping that up and like integrating what did Mercury have you working on. You can go back looking at the end of um, August into the top of September. There may have been some indications of what you were working on. And so Mercury's going to be helping you with that. Um, but Mercury in Libra, Mercury is the mind. It will give you ideas about relationship. It will put relationships top of mind. It may be some conversations that need to be had. Um, Libra is about contracts. So, maybe there's going to be some contractual things that come up in business. Um, Mercury might bring up topics that have to do with balance. Maybe you're like, oh, okay, I see where I'm out of balance. I need to get back into balance because that's what Libra's about. Libra's about fashion, relationships, support. So, maybe you were like, man, I really need some support, but you didn't get it. And this Mercury retrograde was like, we're going to make sure by the end of this retrograde, you are getting that support that you need. Let's see here. It is also amplifying the energy of, let me see here. I did not pull that up. Today's transits. It's also bringing up the Libra energy. It's heightening this Libra energy. We got a lot going on the Aries Libra axis right now. Actually, it is a lot of energy of push and pull. Some of us are feeling like, I want to think about myself versus other people, or it's the body, and versus like, are you in balance? Are you out of balance in your body? And I think that this is very interesting too, because um, this is where the eclipse is moving next. And so I think it could be bringing up either some things you want to be wrapping up before these eclipses come back, or you'll start seeing what the focus is going to be when these eclipses are here. Um, let's see here. Yeah, and Chiron is all in the mix also, which is the wounded healer. So, I mean, it's just how it is. Like, definitely thinking about what is this bringing up for you? Because some of it is like, where is Chiron in your chart? But you kind of know where your stuff is coming up. And I just encourage you, don't stuff it. It's coming up for you to do something about it. So, yeah, Libra is just really becoming more, another word I love for Libra is refinement. So that's something else that you can look at, what needs to be refined. I think that's a very important word. And so let's see here. What else do we have? The Sun trine Saturn. I love, love, love that for us. Let me bring this down. Shoot. So yeah, the Sun in Libra. Now, Libra is about connection, and Saturn is Aquarius is about community. Um, the Sun and Saturn is like, working on career. It could be something around career, some connections being made, um, something favorable, and making progress in the career on a project maybe that you've been working on for a while. It brings this energy. And one of the things I talked about in the full moon circle is that um, the energy of the mind or air energy is heightened right now. It's like the thing that we have going for us the most. And so the Sun trine Saturn, it will help us. Honestly, it's kind of like work energy. It's not really fun. Whenever Saturn is there, it's like it's time for us to work. We need to have a plan. Maybe with that, it's like a good plan is going to come forward, or it'll be easier to carry out the plan. Saturn is also about and the plan is helping us to progress. That's one thing to think about too. Saturn is also a karmic planet. So it could be something karmic is working out, um, you know, between, it could be just in a social setting. It could be one to one, it could be the group dynamic. One thing I will say is like how there is the one to one relationships. And I think that a lot of us are looking for that. So maybe one-to-one relationships that are stemming from a collective group of some sort that's supportive. Okay. I have candles burning and well, okay, I'm small on the screen. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am sweating so much because this room is so heated up. Okay. So I love that for us, but it will make things a little bit mental. So just be cautious of, let me tell y'all, Mars down here and this Mercury is, let me just make sure again. Okay. It is really creating a lot of mental energy. This will be a week where we really need to take some deep breaths and, um, yeah, woosah, all that kind of good stuff. So Mercury is going to be opposition Jupiter. And so Mercury opposition Jupiter again is kind of like this it's this energy of like the vision versus the task that need to get done. You know, a lot of us, it's like, oh, I see this vision. I so want to, make it happen. But uh Mercury is like, okay, well, you do know it's going to take a lot of steps to get there. And are you willing to do it? And these are the kinds of things that you might be looking at. Um, it also may be sort of like your limiting beliefs versus whatever this thing is that you want to manifest. You might have to look at like what are your limiting beliefs around it. In order for you to manifest the vision, you have to get past your limiting beliefs. Some of the limiting beliefs might be around who's supporting you, what kind of support do you have? Um, might be around um ooh, yeah, I think that would be the number one. I don't know. Nothing else is really coming to me for Libra. Support, balance. Oh, um, like the limiting might be belief might be, I have so much to do. I don't know if I can do all of this and get that done. It could be something like that. But it's definitely like the lower mind versus the higher wisdom. It might be that you're getting so lost in the details that, you're forgetting what the mission is, what the vision is. It could be like the wisdom versus like, somebody gave you like 5 steps to doing this or that. So it's, yeah. And it also could be this energy of, you know, it's almost like there's 2 different conversations going on. One person is saying, A, and it sounds like they're on the same topic, but they're like talking about the details. And then the other person is talking about like the bigger picture, but neither one of them realizes that we're not having the same conversation. It seems like it. It's one of those times when we go into meetings and it's just like 2 people are talking and you're like, they're not even on the same sheet of music. They think they are. And some of it might be because people are so in their heads and they're just like, they're all about themselves. That's something else that it's about. It's like you're just all about yourself and you're just talking, talking, talking. And then, it might be you're the one that's like, no, I'm like trying to care about everybody. I'm like trying to bring the wisdom, but no one really notices that it's like the 2 people in the conversation are not noticing that, yeah, you know, so I guess what I'm trying to say is it could be 2 people and they really are talking about their stuff, thinking that they're having a conversation with each other. That's sort of what that could be. Venus trine Saturn, I like that. Okay. I like that a lot. So yeah, Venus is in her sign of Libra. She's very happy. She's doing really well. She's bringing abundance to our relationships, even if it feels like things aren't working in your favor. They will work in your favor if you allow them to. Venus trine Saturn can bring a lot of good um, blessings, I should say, to business, like in business or with other women, or again, with carrying this plan out. Okay. So I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm just gonna say, I think this is a week where we can make quite a bit of progress because of these positive connections between the Sun and Saturn and Venus and Saturn. I think we can feel like we're making a lot of progress, or act like, I mean, it's like, no, seriously, we have come very, very far. A lot of good fortune, a lot of like, it's like this ingenious plan comes through. And a lot of it will stem from some kind of connection to other people. Okay. Maybe it's like, there's a coach, you're like, I need to work with you. Will you work with me? Immediately you start seeing results from working with that coach. Or maybe it's like this group that you find and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this group for a long time because I that we all have like the same mission and they understand me and it just makes it easier for me to work on this project. Or when I say project, it could be your body, it could be your emotions, it could be your home, it could be your family, it could be something at work, whatever that is. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have this week. Um, yeah, okay. So let me make sure I do not reveal. I am very cautious about showing people stuff. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. So this is for CV. Um, yeah, this is for CV. Um, and what I have for you is, let's look at this full moon. Now, this full moon is happening over here in the seventh house. And, she has a lot going on. Well, not a lot because it's Mars and it's Chiron. So I can imagine this has been a very emotional full moon, for CV. And the other thing that she has is her moon is at 13 degrees of Cancer. Her sun is at 8 degrees of Cancer. Even her South Node, which speaks to like um a comfort zone or a past life, but it's like something you bring into this life and you're a natural at it. Like she's a natural at Cancerian things. Um all of that is being affected. The Chiron, the Mars, all of it is being impacted by this full moon. So I can imagine this is a very emotional full moon. She's already a Cancerian, so that's something else that we have to take into consideration. Cancerians and Leos are always impacted by full moons. The other thing is she has Uranus at 18 degrees of Libra. So that was a part of the full moon. So I would say it's something in her body, or maybe she's seeing the effects of like, um, she started something new. Maybe it has to do with technology, broadcasting herself, something, yeah, techie, but also something with her body. Maybe it's some technology she's been doing with her body, like healing or something, and she's gonna see the results of it. Or this moon is like, hey, this is what you need to do. Maybe she's been searching for something and now all of a sudden it shows up for her. But this is a very impactful full moon. And I think that it is either definitely an ending is happening, but it's also going to kick off a new beginning. Or um yeah, that's how I most see it. Ending is happening, kicking off a new beginning. Some change is happening, highlighting topics surrounding career, because, these planets are in her career house. Now, her career point actually is in Leo, but this 10th house still has to do with career. Um, yeah, definitely career. I think also this could be bringing up quite a bit for her regarding relationships. if you're watching the CV, it's time for you to do some healing work around relationships. You're at the age where you're gonna have a Chiron return. We always have it. Um, I think Chiron return is around 50. So it's you do have to kind of like begin to come to terms and face to face with um, something that got set in motion, a healing or something off, something like that hurt you that got kicked off a long time ago, probably when you were a girl. And it's now going to be in your face for you to be healing it. That's what the Chiron return did. So my Chiron return was right around my Venus, and it brought up so many topics of it's in Aries actually. It brought up so many topics of um self-worth and self-value, and it was like I was revisiting things from my childhood, and they all are coming up so that you can do something to heal them, okay? Um it could be this full moon could be bringing up some topics regarding parents just because the moon and the sun, those have to do with the parents. The Cancer has to do with home and family. Um, the 10th house, yeah, has to do with a parent. So I think it's really important to, yeah, I think that she will be it's like this full moon is just like bringing up everything. Now, actually, the full moon could be bringing up something regarding career because her career is ruled by the sun. So it definitely could be bringing up topics, highlighting something that she needs to be focused on. Um, Yeah, I think it'll be something that's kinda, like, glaring, and it might give you like, maybe there's a project you've been working on, and you see it has manifested, but it kinda, like, manifested out of frustration, or it's like you had to drag yourself to the finish line, or, this moon could be activating, the career, moving in a new direction. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, just highlighting something about the moon. And I want you to see it as this is information for you to use. See, I don't want us to be thinking that, you know, all this is coming up. We just bad people and it's just coming up just so I can, oh, yeah, it's the full moon. So, we just going to be emotional. No. I just need to make sure my microphone isn't too loud. Um, no, it's coming up for you to do something about. That's that embodiment um, of the astrology and not just keeping it here, but actually realizing astrology is always working in your favor. So the other thing I think is, oh, she also has Lilith transiting her, see, 19 degrees. Okay, so it's already transited her moon. I can assure you she has been feeling like I must step more into my power. So yeah, that's gonna be that's been kind of rough. But Lilith has already, transited all of that, but she is gonna go down here into Leo. I can't remember exactly when. I keep forgetting to look that up. But it is definitely gonna be highlighting empowerment issues, stepping into your power, moving more into a place of empowerment with career, self-worth, self-value, um, being empowered to reach your goals. Maybe even to, like, really tap into your creative energy. And then Mars goes retrograde at the end of this month at the I keep forgetting. Where's Mars? 25th degree. Okay. Okay. So this Saturn is going to be impacted. So I'm just telling you, CV, this is a little bit of a challenging time for you because once this um Saturn gets activated, first and foremost, Mars is in this house that has to do with like vision and the direction you want to take your life in. Maybe something spiritual, also taking your spirituality to a new level. Becoming a teacher, maybe like some type of spiritual teacher. So um it's already highlighting that for you. But once this Saturn gets activated, it's going to activate this fourth house down here, bringing up topics of home, family, um, ancestors, and emotions. It's going to really activate your emotional body. So, those are things that will come up. And it's kind of like your emotions are very mental. I know CV personally. Maybe the emotions get tripped, like activated by these thoughts. And this is an opportunity for you to begin to work on maybe creating more space between your thoughts and feelings. There's a coaching model that one of my coaches uses, and this is the circumstance, like this is the thing that actually is, we can verify it as this is a fact. This thing has actually happened. The next line is thought, and then the next line is feeling. After feeling comes action and then results. And the teaching comes from the life coach school of whatever that thought is, that thought activates that feeling. It is not the feeling is just there. It's more of look at the thoughts and like think about career, for instance. So if someone is like, I can't stand my job, what comes from that thought is a feeling. And if we change the thought line, which is the job is there, it's it's the job that you really would like to move on and do something different, right? But it's just job, right? How you think about the job dictates whether or not you think this job is good or not, right? And so what you think about the job dictates how you feel, and how you feel dictates your actions, and then that dictates your results. And so sometimes we have to reverse it and we have to say, okay, if I want to leave my job, then the actions I need to take are fill in the blank, whatever that means for you, start a business, apply someplace else, whatever. And then what do you need to feel in order to take those actions? Inspired, motivated, belief in myself. In order to create that feeling, what do I need to think? One thought that I often share with people who want their own business is this job is just the meantime. I'm not going to be here forever. Are you kidding me? It's just funding my business, or I'm holding this job to pay my bills until I move on. So, how differently do we feel and act and get results when we change that thought? That's kind of like what I see for CV here. Okay. Um, what else did I look at yesterday? Okay, the eclipses are in the money houses for you, the houses that have to do with self-worth and self-value. That's something that is coming, that is going to be at the forefront. This eclipse is going to be hitting up your Venus, your career point, and your Mercury. Um, it's a lot of change in your chart. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. And one thing I think is important for you is to make sure you do your breath work, your yoga, anything that keeps the body feeling calm. Because I do think that this, we're already in eclipse energy. I do think it's going to really activate quite a bit for you, especially regarding how you feel, your self-worth, your self-value. It's going to be bringing up topics of self-care. I say with these kinds of placements, it's important for you to um, spend as much money as you can afford on self-care. And also, last night I talked about one of the sisters. She has planets right here at the beginning of Leo. And when Pluto goes into Aquarius, that's going to be, if you want to change in career, it's coming next year. It's going to be, I looked at it yesterday. Jan, what do you call it? March. You're going to see the first indications of what changes are going to come, or I don't know. It's going to be real. It's not going to feel comfortable. And I'm not trying to make you feel upset. I lived this transit when I was in my 20s. Okay. I lived this transit when I was in my 20s and I survived. So it's something that a lot of people experience. Those who have planets in Capricorn, they've been through this. Planets in Cancer. Oh, actually, you've been through this. Yeah. When Pluto first went into Capricorn, I don't remember, maybe around 2008, something like that. See, I know your history, and I'm like, yeah, you've already kind of experienced something like this. It's going to be different. And you're going into this with, knowledge is power, but it is going to create a huge shift for you, especially regarding career. I'll tell you what else. Your body, and your vision for your life. Change is on the horizon, but it may feel like a struggle. And I think the best word is to plan and just stick with the plan. That's very important. So Pluto goes into Aquarius March 23rd. Why are you doing this to us, Pluto? Why are you doing this to us, Pluto? And it will be there until the 10th of June, and then it goes back into Capricorn. So that is going to be a really intense time, but just know a lot of us are with you. Yeah, even I will be dealing with that transit. I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, let me see here. What else do I see? But yeah, the eclipses are bringing up money topics for you, self-care, self-worth, self-value. It's asking you to let go of your self-worth issues, is asking you, maybe there's like some grant money you can apply for. And I don't know if you are good on taxes, but maybe there's something about taxes, or um, setting up like a will or something like that is important during this time. Um, Eighth house. Oh, you're being asked to transform, and a lot of it is through releasing and letting something go so you can step into your transformation. Let me see here. What else did I talk about? Mars retrograde. I talked about that. Okay, so something else that I'm going to do is show y'all what's possible. So a this is her. I can't see everything. But anywho, this is her birthday chart. It's called the solar return chart. So on the first house, it tells me what is the theme for her. Okay. So the theme for CV is this inner world, resting, getting away, vacation, taking time off, work-life balance to a certain degree. Definitely a big topic for you. It's about healing, working with the subconscious mind. So using things like hypnosis, NLP. If there's a problem that you've had, let me see here. Mercury might be, maybe it's, you need to release some blocks to achieving your goals, blocks to regarding like friend groups, blocks regarding technology, something like that. But it's definitely a year of healing. This is a time for you. It's a lot of energy in your chart that's like you need to make sure you're working with healers, and maybe working with therapists, and just doing all kinds of healing work. Um, Major for you. Okay, so that lets me know the theme. And then let's see here. In this chart, also there's a lot going on with career. Um, that's a very important theme in this chart. It's a lot about visibility. So I don't know if you don't want to be visible, but there's a lot that's saying like you really need to be more visible. Um, let me see here. Yeah, what you're known for is, maybe it's gonna be you're gonna be highlighted more or something like that this year, but it's definitely like this chart that has to do with you and the world outside. There's a theme in your natal chart that's more about like this internal world. And then there's this chart that has all this energy at the top, which is about being connected to the outside world. There is this energy about work as well as lifestyle routines, systems. That's a really big topic for you right here. Um, Healing. This is like you might just feel like I got to go in a new direction and you feel like you can't not do it. Um, and it is regarding career because that's where Venus is. In your chart, wow, look at this. Lilith is conjunct your sun. The sun is like what is like your inner genius. And so it could be there is this and Lilith is empowerment. So it might be maybe you're going to be talking more about empowerment, or you feel like I need to be more empowered and let my light shine and let people be able to experience the things that I am able to share. Community, I think, is a really big one for you this year. So maybe being a part of conventions or something like that would be very good for you. Maybe you're going to go to the convention. Maybe you're going to be part of the convention. Maybe some of this healing work is to help you to be able to help other people heal. Okay. And this one is the lunar return chart. So we all have the solar return is it dictates the month, okay? And excuse me, the year. The solar return is like this is the theme for the year. These are the things that you're focused on. It's a lot of other stuff I could look at, but that's just what it's it's a mini reading. So I can't go that deep. But when you meet with me, we talk, and it's a lot of times you already have ideas, and I can look at the chart and just be like, yes, that's what your chart is indicating. Because it's almost like an infinite number of combinations. I can see the general trends, but when I do readings live where the person is on Zoom with me, we kind of strategize based on what I see. But a lot of times I kind of have, not kind of, I have to hear from you because it's your life, and I really want to make sure that you trust your gut and that we just use astrology to help you to realize you're headed in the right direction. But sometimes it's like, like I'm telling people next year, we're feeling good right now, but I think next year is going to be rough, you know? Yeah. And I can tell people that. And when a lot of times they look at me like, first of all, don't tell me that. Or they'll look at me like, I don't even know what you're talking about, and then they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you said around this time, this is when it's gonna get rough." And that way you're not blindsided, you don't think anything is wrong. Ooh, you and Lilith just been rolling, CV. Okay, I see you, Lilith. So the lunar return chart tells you what you have a lunar month. Like we have the big lunar month. So, we had that new moon in Libra. Now we have the full moon in Aries, then we're going to have the new moon in Scorpio, right? That's the big one. That's the collective. But you have your own lunar month. And so this is a reflection of CV's lunar month. And so the moon is always in, like, if you have, for her, she has moon in Cancer. The lunar month, the moon is always moon in Cancer because that's how you know. So if you have a moon in Cancer, every time the moon is in Cancer, you know that your lunar month is starting back off. And each lunar month helps you to understand what the theme is, and it speaks to how do you continue to move yourself forward in that solar return chart. Okay. The natal chart is more about like what you're here to do. It helps to guide your entire life and whatever this mission is that you came to achieve. The um the solar return chart, the yearly chart is each chapter in that mission, in that healing, whatever it is. And then the lunar return chart, it like brings the energy down even more so that you know what the focus is. So for her, I like it when I see the moon in the 11th house. It means more than likely there's going to be some progress. And the progress might be this topic of empowerment, but it also might mean she's going to get a raise. It might mean that she's going to be taking a trip to a convention somewhere. Like when I see this, I'm like, okay, maybe you're going to go be at a convention, speak at a convention, somewhere where there's a collective, because the 11th house has to do with collective. It has to do with making money from your career. It has to do with making progress, goals, those kinds of things. It also has to do with technology. But Lilith is there, and so I don't know, it's just this theme of empowerment that has been happening at least. I don't know how long Lilith has been there, but for sure September, I'm sure she was like, "I need to walk in my power." And see, Lilith kind of speaks to where we felt disempowered as a child, and so, when she's close to a planet or something, especially like the moon, is definitely bringing up something. It could be her body also. Maybe there's this topic of I need to walk more empowered in this body, like be okay with this body so that you can, continue to heal it and all that kind of good stuff. Um, so yeah, whenever I see the 11th house, I'm kind of happy for the person. Sometimes if I see the 8th or the 12th or even the 6th, I'm like, ooh, this month may not be that good for you. You may be dealing with some challenges of all sorts. Okay, so also I'd look where Cancer is, but for her, it's the same thing, the moon in Cancer. So it's like this double portion of 11th house topics, something regarding um, friends and friend groups, especially people who have like a similar mission. Okay. That could be something that you find yourself connected to a group like that, and it helps you to make progress. It helps you to make progress. Okay. So the oracle that I'm going to use tonight is, I think I did this one last night. I want to make sure I looked at extra charts. So I am just going to use this oracle. Oh, okay. Um, oh, okay. I'll pull one more for you, CV. I hope that has been helpful. I hope that if you would please give some feedback. And I hope others are able to see, you know, what's possible. So I'm going to do this first for CV, and then I'm going to pull a card for the community for this week. Where's my book? Is it? Wait a minute. Where did I put my little book? There it is. Okay. So the first one I pulled is Earth Cycles. I love this for you. That Saturn could be bringing up cycles also. Maybe it's some cycle of higher teaching or something like that. It could be bringing up, there was a teacher and it's going to bring up topics. Maybe you learn from that teacher and you got to like remember them, but maybe there's some issue with the teacher. Maybe it's like you got emotional or something regarding a teacher. It could be that you're going to be learning something new or going back and revisiting something you learned on a higher level, that like it's a higher level certification, but you're going to go back and revisit some of the things you learned. So this says, well, exactly what I told you. This is a time of transition in your life. Let the current momentum transmute the old into the new. See that you're holding on, excuse me, see what you're holding on to in yourself and release the brakes. so that changes that bring the new form to you can come swiftly and easily without resistance. This one is Shakti. This is the one that jumped out. And I know CV, so I'm cracking up at this. Shakti, ecstatic union. This one says Shakti shows the way to union with the pure force of spirit. She reminds you that you are a being of power, see? And that you are on earth to let your energy move upward through your body to unite with her and fulfill your deepest desire of union with the primary force of creation. Shakti is the cosmic example of sacred power, exemplifying the perfect orgasmic fusion of your sexuality, sensuality, and spirituality, where your world is forever transformed. So you want the perfect orgasmic fusion of your sexuality, sensuality, and spirituality. And I love this one, the last one. It is actually very connected to that Cancerian energy that you have, compassion. I'm going to use the word self-compassion. That is a topic that you really need to look into. If you are not already into self-compassion, that will be one of your primary antidotes. So it's dragons on here, and it says the dragons are calling you to open your heart to the kindness of compassion and the high frequency of love, to let that abundance of feeling heal yourself and others in blessing. Look up, I think it's Kristen Neff. It's either Neff or Kneff, something like that. Just look up Kristen Self-Compassion. Listen to some of her videos. That will help you so much. Thank you for letting me look at your chart. I hope that has been helpful for everyone to see what's possible with astrology. And so for the community, I'm going to pull, let's see here, for this next week. Okay. The first one I pull for everybody is, who do you need to forgive? Who needs forgiveness? It's a fire energy, which matches this moon. This says, the priestess of forgiveness comes to you when it is time for you to examine your heart to find where you have been withholding love from yourself and others. Forgiveness is essential now to let the loving light of the goddess fill your heart. Let your ego and judgments of others go forever by opening to the absolution she represents. Let your ego and judgments of others, let go of your judgments, let go of your ego. By opening to the absolution she represents, to all that forgiveness, it'll help to melt that ego, melt the judgments. Let your world and your very DNA be transformed through the power of forgiveness. And if there's something you're not manifesting, you might want to see how many people you can forgive. That will help you manifest. And speaking of manifestation, I pulled the Ace of Manifestation. So that's very much this Taurus energy that we have with the eclipses, being one of the eclipses is in Taurus. So this says, with the goddess of manifestation, when the goddess of manifestation appears, her blessings are soon to follow. Prepare the way for prosperity to come to you in all ways possible. Inheritance, relationship, beneficial career change, good health news, property, gifts, and a raise in income are just a few of the avenues she manifests through. Take advantage of all the opportunities presented to you and open to her blessings. She brings the prosperous rewards you have been waiting for. I'm excited for us. I'm really, really excited for us. So let's try this one. I think I like this one. I'm gonna read the give us a affirmation. It's for everybody. Affirmation for this week. Y'all saw me just shuffle that deck. I am focused. Aries is like, when I am here, don't y'all play with me. Okay? I am focused. This is so Aries. I devote my energy to what truly matters. Wow. I am focused. Oh my gosh. You cannot make these things up. I'm going to put this up just to remind y'all I think I'll do it this way. The retreat to reset at the Scorpio new moon. I hope that you come and get your self-care on with me, get loved on, get yourself clear, understand what is your mission with these eclipses, your continued mission, okay? Okay, here we go. And the early bird rate is still in effect. It says, it's taken living through my darkest days to become the strongest version of me. It's taken living through my darkest days to become the strongest version of me. Then that word strong, Aries. Aries is like, y'all keep playing. Keep acting like this ain't my mom. And watch me show up and show you this my moon. Y'all want to see my little fire? Isn't she cute? Okay. Last little bit. These are called mindful messages. So what does it say? Mindful messages. You just saw me shuffle these cards. Releasing anger. This is so Aries. Okay, so y'all, this is a week to be Aries focused, okay? Mars focused. We not playing, okay? Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as the human being they are. I release the anger. I feel free. I release the anger I feel and free myself. Okay? I release the anger I feel and free myself. Freeing myself and expanding to love. Oh. Okay, well, Aries, Mars has spoken. Ogun, Parakahuti, all right, has spoken. The warrioress that we talked about earlier, we're going to have to really activate that part of ourselves, okay? So thank y'all so much for being here. And I'll see y'all at the Inspired Goddess Circle. I haven't posted it yet. It'll be either Wednesday or Thursday. Y'all know how we do it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, goddesses. Peace and love.